In this compounding video, I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom. Literally going to show you it all. You're going to win every single trade. You're going to win so many trades, you're going to find there's trades that you hadn't taken that you actually win. I'm just kidding, but we're going to be going through a backtest situation. It's been a great trading week so far. Before we get into the actual compounding, check it out. These are the couple of the trades that I'm in right now. Well, this one just hit the TP like 15 minutes ago. In fact, let me just show you. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but this is an account. It's up to like 1,300, 1,400 now. There's the history on it. So there's been it was started with $500 about a week ago. There's been 4 winners and then 1 loss. Here's the most recent trade, which was 80 JPY. The profit on it is, what is it, 1,300? No, 900. The account's at like pretty much 1,400 now. And this is a CoinEx account. So it's a CoinEx live account. I use CoinEx, I use Hugo's Way, Hanko Trade, Trader's Way one time. But yeah, so this is going pretty well. There's also a bunch of other trades that I'm in right now, a bunch of other trades I'm looking to take. It's been an exceptionally good week trading, but yeah, this was one of them. So it was the same rules that, same stuff I'm teaching you guys. It's just the same stuff over and over. We came to a super clear resistance level, priced it at a huge bounce here before. We came again here yesterday and closed with a bearish rejection candle right there. I entered the trade. Took a while for it to work out, but it finally went to the profit target today. I'm also in CAD JPY. I'm waiting for that to hit the target. I'm probably going to close it once it gets up to here. There's also GBP CAD, which I'm in. Almost hit the profit target, but barely missed. I'm going to be remaining in this trade. There's no reason to close it. It may take a little bit longer. I wanted to take Euro CHF, but after it rejected the zone, it was already way down here. That's not like the best entry. So I was going to wait to see if it comes back up to this zone, and I was going to enter if it gets up here. I still will, if it can come up to here. I'll still enter it, but yeah. There's also Euro New Zealand dollar, which I'm waiting on the session changeover to happen. That happens in 2 hours. I'm going to wait for that to happen first, then I'll take this trade. 80 CAD, I was looking for buys, but we broke and closed below. It then popped back up and tested right here and started to reject. I could have entered a sell here. That might have been a really easy trade. But I was out walking. I just got back from a walk. That's why I'm all bundled up right now. It's not cold outside, but it's really windy, so that's why I'm all bundled up right here. But yeah, so there's a bunch of good trades this week. A bunch more trades setting up that I haven't gone through my alerts yet on, but yeah, so it's really good. So like I said, in this video, we're going to be going through another backtesting session. 2 things. Make sure, number 1, you're relaxed mentally. Make sure that if your thoughts are running around like crazy, you meditate for 5 minutes, you get yourself into the present moment, you're able to relax. Number 2, make sure that your environment externally is calm. You can't be in anywhere busy right now. You don't want your kids running around screaming. You don't want your girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, or husband running around the house screaming. I don't know when that would happen, but again, you want like a nice peaceful room. Like me, this is like a bedroom here in my house. We have like a 4,000 square foot, 4-bedroom, 4-bath house here in Southlake, Texas. It's a huge house, but I have my own little nook here, my little home office room that I use. It's carpeted floor, everything's like nice and quiet, and I normally keep the lights off. I just let natural light in, so that way I can, that way it's more relaxing. So yeah, just get into a chill environment, make sure you're in the right headspace to do this so that you can really focus and get the most value from this video. So let's go ahead and find a random pair over here. We're going to go number between 1 and 20, number 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Euro New Zealand dollar. So I don't want to mess up this chart here, so let's use a different Euro New Zealand dollar chart. We'll use the FXCM chart. We'll clear all drawings. And how far back do we scroll? 11 seconds. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So March of 2021. Cool. Alright, and we'll start. What should we do this time? We've done 500 already. Some of y'all will be starting with 100. 200, 250. Let's make it interesting. Let's start with 1,000. I normally start with 1,000. 500 to 1,000. I was doing these $500 accounts just to demonstrate and show you guys, that it works. I've done it over and over again, but I put my money where my mouth is. I like to show you guys everything. That way, you can actually rely on the information. So one thing about this though is compounding past like 20-25K I found is really hard to do. You get to points where if you're risking 40% of an account like that, depending on what your stop is in terms of pips, you're having to use ridiculous lot sizes, like 50 lots, 75 lots, 125 lots, and your broker will not be able to fill you at market execution most of the time at those prices, the whole position, the whole lot size. So you'll have to break up your position into multiple positions.
I had to put my stop.
Yeah, it's like a nightmare trying to do. So what I that's why I stop at, like, I haven't really done this past like a 23K account. I take 3K to 15K, 3K to 20K, taken 1K to 10K a couple times, 500 to 5K a couple times. It's easier with small balances. That's why I'm telling you, like, start a small balance. Even if you only make like 10, 15K a month, like, it's fine. Like, it's all good. You know, it's still plenty of money to pay bills and stuff. And most of you who are watching this, if you're trying to compound a small account, you're typically, most of you, not all of you, but most of you are not going to be like multimillionaires. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be here in this course. You'd probably just be investing your money. You know, if you've got 5 million to invest, you're not worried about growing a $1,000 account to 10K. You're probably worried about picking the right positions for long-term investments and letting it grow. But here in this course, like, you're here for this. You're here for growing a small account to a large account quickly. So let's get into it. So again, we're going to be using the same exact thing we're always doing: clear support resistance levels, waiting for prices to get to these clear support resistance levels,
but it would not have hit the stop loss.
and then trading with a 40% risk, 50% gain,
I'm happy with my decision.
and closing trades early if they close past the zone. So same trading rules apply. We're just looking for the bounces at the clear zones.
So far, so yeah, that's it. So that's pretty much it for this week. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's pick a random pair. We'll do a number between 1 and 10. So it's 9. So 1, 2, 3,
this looks like
4,
we're kind of headed
5,
downwards
6,
right here.
7, 8,
It'd be
9,
better to
80
wait for a
New Zealand
break and
dollars.
retest below this zone. So let's wait to see if that happens.
Chart here, 80 New Zealand dollar on FXCM. So remove drawings. Let's go find another random number.
So we do have a
here.
break.
3, so we'll scroll back
Let's
3
let it
seconds.
sell
Zoom
off
out
really
just
big
to
and
make
let's
sure
let it
that
come
makes
back
sense.
up and see if it
1,
happens.
2, 3. We are in April.
So it didn't come back up. We only want the clear trades where we're really likely to get bounces at.
For this, our last account was a fail. Our last challenge was a fail.
It's another zone
$500
down
and
there, so we'll see if we
$400
get a
after
little
2 months,
bounce.
so it was a break even or a loss, kind of.
Didn't get a bounce. We had a breakthrough, pushback. Now it's sort of
Back
starting to
to
reject
the
his
council, it was a
resistance. We need a
failed
clear push through and pull it back. Remember, we want to win most of these trades. We don't want to get
Could work, could not.
caught into fake
About
outs.
half the
See how this,
accounts
like,
you
it
start, you
pushed
should
back
expect
above
to
and then
fail.
came
The other
back. We
half
don't
you
want to
should
be
expect
messing
to
with
get
stuff like
profit
this.
out
We
of.
want
So
clear
those are
stuff.
the metrics
That's
and the math
easy.
skills,
So that's good. This level had already presented itself as a nice resistance here.
So start
We
with
had this second little quick test after a nice move away from it with rejection. So this right here would be a good trade to take. Sell with the stop loss above the zone.
here on 80 New Zealand
Targeted a
dollar.
1 to 1.25. Trading with, it's kind of got some downwards momentum right now. You don't need to take trend analysis into your trading. I mean, you know, you look at the chart and it looks like it's going down, you know, cool. You're like, all right, trend happens to be down right here. The problem is trend is so subjective. It depends on time frame.
So we come to the first
Depends on
clear
how much
zone.
data you look at.
Pin the zone, had a rejection.
So you don't even really need to be worried
So
about
yeah,
trend.
entry's a little
So
bit
1,000,
lower
this
than
was a winner
most
times
times.
1.5, grew the account 50%.
I mean, it is what it is.
1,500
Doesn't work,
bucks.
so it's
So
fine.
we'll continue to the next one. We're gonna go ahead and get some zones ready here.
So this one works
Got a
out.
big zone
It's a sell
right
price.
in here. Let's use the most recent data, which is
500
these
times
highs right here.
1.5
This will
is
probably be
750.
a little bit more
And we're on to the
relevant.
Again, guys, when we're on
Whoa.
zones, like, zoom the hell out.
What just
Don't-
happened to
don't
my
be trying
voice right
trade
there?
it, like,
I'm like so
consistent
chill right
whatever.
now. I'm
It's
losing
like-
my voice.
it's
All right,
like
so
kinda
we'll use the most
resistance, then it
relevant
goes
zones
above,
and
but
we'll
then
see if
comes
price
back
gets
and
there.
finds a little bit of resistance again, pulls resistance up here, so it's a little bit further. Then it tests the support, then it goes and dips really far below the. Just leave crap like that alone, right? It's not that relevant in the big picture. Focus on those zones that are.
For whatever
really
reason, price is starting to
good
find
fundamental
some
zones,
strong
even if it's trend levels and stuff, which I
support
do
right in
on the
there.
trend
So
lines.
we're gonna extend these zones
I just
further
feel
out,
like
and we're
it's
going
just-
to
that's all you really need. I mean, you just you're looking at the screen, you're trying to figure out where price is going to bounce.
Yeah,
just
take these all into account. So
focus
we're
on
just
the
kind of
first
updating our
pulses, and
zones
then
as they
all you need. You can
as
get
they
that just kinda
continue.
zooming out. We've also had a
So we
bounce
pushed
here
up
for
in
some
here, we
reason,
dipped
so
above
looks
this
like
level.
that right there might be
We
a
came
zone.
back into the zone, didn't have a clear enough breakout. We want to avoid those fake outs, so
Here we go.
we
So
don't
we
take
had a
trades if they
bounce, but
just
it's
kind of
way too
barely
far
pop.
up.
We want them to have a nice breakout.
Way too far up. So we'll wait to see if it comes back here pretty
And
soon.
it came back, never came back up to retest. So let's see if we can come back up there to retest. And if we can't, we'll just look for another trade.
We have another sell at resistance here. Hits the zone, falls right there. We've already had a nice move away, and this is our first
So this
flush test after a while.
this is a good trade. We've come to
So
support.
we
We've
can
kind of
take a sell
paused
right
here for
there.
a second. We've rejected.
Target down
Enter
here.
a trade there with the
Kind of
stop
a
just
far
underneath
target,
the
but I mean, if
zone
it's
and a
gonna-
1 to
if it's gonna
1.25
bounce here, it
profit
should
target.
come somewhere around the
We'll see how
lows
she
down here,
plays.
in which case it hit the target. And if it doesn't bounce right here and it pushes up a little bit deeper into the zone, it shouldn't hit the stop
So we're
loss,
taking a
but it
minute
hits
here
it
to
into
get
this
going.
zone.
This might be a trade that
So in this, it hit the stop loss and then ended up
okay,
falling.
so we're coming to the next resistance,
do.
pausing. Broke above but then came
So
back.
minus 40%, we're at 450 now.
All the way back into the support,
On
which
the
is
next
not
one.
a
We
good
push back
sign
up
for
in
our
here and find
case.
resistance, we can
Still
still
bouncing at the
sell.
entry though with a bullish wick. Pushed even further down, have another bullish wick. Stuff like this. So when you start getting dragged into trades like these, this is
Worth
where it
a
normally
shot.
doesn't work
It's
out.
come back
It's
to
like,
resistance, it's
you know,
tested,
you've
it's
been in,
starting
it
to-
tried to work. It almost
Then
worked, but then it
This gives us a little
starts
bit
doing
easier
stuff like
target
this.
To hit as well. Yeah, that's the second one worked out.
tried like a million
That-
times
that
to
was kinda
bounce and
fun,
it's just
though.
not
That's what
working.
You'll run into with tighter stop losses.
So I'd go ahead and cut that
Uh,
right there.
the tighter
Close
stop
below
losses,
the
we're not
zone, close
using
below the
active
previous
position
wicks.
management in this
We've already tried to bounce. We gave it a good
because
go,
I've had
but we
every
lost. So
single
this,
client,
it's
every
a little
single
bit
one
less
that
than
I've done a
half
one-on-one session with
of
right
the
now,
stop loss.
6,
So
7,
half
5
of
at
40% is like
Every single
20%. We'll
client
just
that I've
say it
done
was a
one-on-one
20%
session
loss.
with,
Do 1,500 times
prefers not
0.8,
using stop loss. I'm sorry, no, what am I talking
leaving us with
Prefers
$1,200.
not using active trade management. They prefer just having the kind of the set it and forget it approach. So what I'm doing more in these videos is since
So now
that's
we've
what works
had
a little
another
bit
bullish
easier for you
push,
all,
came back into this
I'm
zone,
doing it here in these videos
and
as
now we're
well, see how
rejecting
it
again.
plays out as well.
So in this
it's
case, since
essentially
we
tighter stop
now,
losses
I mean, we
and
have to
active
adjust the
trading
zone
and
again.
good
So let's
stop
go ahead
loss
and
rejected.
adjust it
'Cause then
down
it's
to
like, it's
here,
a set it and forget
and
it.
we'll just disregard this previous
So
bounce
last
up
trade
there.
just stopped out, so now it's we're left with
Had another
$400
fresh
right
push
now.
up, a test,
Got the
and more
next support
bullish
zone
wicks.
down here.
So in this case, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just get back in and retry the trade. It didn't continue below the zone right there, so. So then another closure below the zone. So that right there, so we exit again. It's like halfway to the stop, so
This was a pretty
times
good
0.8.
retest.
So here
and
we are
that's
back
kind
to
of
the
the
starting
zero retest
balance.
there.
Sitting
The
around there,
entry
we'll
that
just wait for the next
would
trades.
be if your stop
So now
has
we
to
can
be
take a
up
buy
there,
at the next
your
support
TP
or
has to
a
go down
sell
here
at
to
the
like
at this resistance
1.25.
up
Well, that
here.
still would have worked. Otherwise, if it was too far and it wasn't going to work, then you can drag your entry and enter at the zone if it pins up into the zone. For now, this would still make sense because if it's going to pin this zone down here, it should hit that.
Come to that
support line,
resistance,
so
we
it
hit it.
applies at the support level.
Started to reject,
And if it breaks,
so
you know,
entry
whatever,
right there after
break
the
above
rejection
and
downwards and the closure, stop above, and target below.
All right, so we did push down the zone. We pinned the target, had a nice bounce there as we expected at the lows. So this is times 1.5. So we're kind of playing.
So
around
that was a
here around
closure
the
above.
Starting balance.
So
$600.
frustrating as it may be, that's a closure above the zone. You gotta exit, gotta go
We do
right to
have
the
a
next one.
rejection here at the zone.
Your patience will be
However,
tested, your mental fortitude will be tested,
the-
your
the
emotional
price
strength
would've
will be
closed
tested
right
in
there,
trading.
this
Trading
entry,
is an
you
uncertain
can't enter
outcome,
there,
just
you
like
can't
anything
have
else in
stop
life.
that. You have
You
to
never
time
know
past
which
this
account you're
support
gonna
zone.
start that's gonna be the
So
one that gets
instead,
blown. You
we can
never
wait
know
for
which
prices
account
to
you're gonna
pin
start that
down
ends
here
up
into
being the
zone so we
one
can get a better
that
entry.
grows to 10x.
You can still have a good
Okay,
distance on
so
our
you need to
stop,
trade
you don't
through
have
it
to
all.
take it
You need to be
almost to
peaceful. You need to be
1.25.
relaxed the whole time.
So
You need
if
to
we
continue
pin back
taking
here
trades.
relatively
Don't
soon,
question yourself. Don't try to
relatively
figure out
soon,
why it didn't
whatever.
work. Just accept that
And
sometimes it's
in
gonna
the
work
meantime,
and
we've got a
sometimes it
sell.
doesn't.
So
Overall,
take a
you will be
sell right
profitable.
there.
You have a positive
Stop.
expectancy of
Same
winning
location,
overall.
just above.
So that's why you
Target
just
down
don't
there,
worry.
1 to 1.25.
So do that times 0.8 because it was halfway to the stop. So we've lost another trade. So now let's see if we get to another clear
Unfortunately,
zone.
it didn't work. I never came back to give us an entry for a buy. So
So when this
We can
pushed
still look
above here
now since we've gotten
and
above
came
here,
and
we can
tested the
look
zone
at
and then
this.
pushed up and rejected,
See if that sets up.
that right
So here
there
we are,
would have been a good
roller
entry.
coastering around the starting balance.
Wasn't too far above the zone. Stop would have to go below it, targeted on 1 to 1.25. Kind of a far target, but still
That took off way too quick.
still makes sense. So that was good. Looks like there was another trade that set up right there. It ran too fast. So this times up 1.5, 1152.
This one
Second
looks
trade
good.
was right there. We came to
So
the
sell at
resistance. Actually,
resistance.
let's make sure we're getting this
Do a
right.
sell right
It's the
there.
wick, it's the closure and the rejection. So this was, yeah, still in the zone. Okay. So still at the zone. Stop loss goes just above the zone. Target 1 to 1.25. Even if your stop loss was a little bit further, it still would have gone to the target in roughly 3 hours. So there's another one. So times 1.5. Again, you just keep taking all the trading opportunities.
Down at 200. Ugh. So if we get below 100, I'm gonna.
Don't
scratch this
overthink
and
it.
say it's another failed challenge. The last one. as
You gotta
well,
remember, when price gets to a
that I made,
support or resistance level,
was a fail.
it's
as
either gonna
well, it just
bounce
didn't
or
work
it's
out.
not. Don't try to go crazy and like, wow, I don't know, is it gonna bounce this time? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, why? Like, what if it doesn't work?
Yeah.
It's okay, it's chill. It's
We
either gonna
rejected,
bounce or
so
it's
there we
not.
go.
Just let it play out.
We've
If
rejected
it comes to the zone, it's likely to
not gonna
bounce.
work
If it
if
starts
we're
to
way down
reject the
there,
zone, it's even
obviously.
more likely to
Let's come
bounce.
back into the zone, and we could have had a
And then,
market order right here once we got back to the zone.
Yeah, you just gotta be cool
So
as a
meaning
cucumber.
pending order that triggers
And you have
even
stuff like
if
this
the sign
happen where it
goes
almost hits the
this one
target and then
would've
it goes
pinned
into
and then gone all the
drawdown.
way back. So that's
That would have been a closure right there,
Look at that.
2/3 of the way to the stop loss.
Again, this rejection.
So let's just say it was a 25% loss instead of a 40% loss. It's a little bit more than half. So we'll do times 0.75. So now we got the account to 1300, and we
You don't
continue.
want to be entering way down there. It makes the risk reward really difficult because your stop has to go way up above. Target
Let's
way
not
up.
use any of these
But
zones.
once
It
it
looks
comes
like it's
back
in a
into the
bull
zone,
run
as
right
long
now.
as you
We'll
would
wait for
already
price to
be
get
in
to
the
this
trade, it's
extreme
okay to
high,
set pending
if
orders.
anything.
Like I said, as long as it's a clear zone and as long as it's already rejected the zone. Meaning the only reason you're not in the trade at all
This
right
right
now
here, this happened
is
too
because
fast.
you
So what I'll
just
do
don't
for the
have a
rest of this
good
video is I will
position.
not
By the time it
hit the play button anymore.
time it
I'll just do the
rejected,
forward. Sometimes it just takes so long to
okay,
do.
taken off without you
But anyway,
pressing.
this support gun got established 1, 2, 3 times. We broke below, we retested, we started to reject. Very simple trade that follows all the
We've tugged here
rules.
in the support
It's a clear
zone.
support
We'll
resistance zone.
extend it
In
lower
fact, you could have
after that
extended it
first
further up
push
to
all
that
the way down
closure.
there.
Right there.
Give us our
And the other
bearings.
candles look like they respect the same
Enter a
area. So yeah,
buy right
so it had a
there.
nice
With
push
stop
deep into the
loss just
zone.
below the zone.
After a clear
Target would
breakout,
be
came back,
1.25,
tested,
right
and then
there.
started to bounce. So yeah, where would the stop would have gone? Like above
Yeah,
here,
and this one hit stop. So here we are back down again. So let's see where
1
this
to
would be at.
1.25. That's fine. So all right,
So
cool.
200.
So we'll call that
like
one.
I said, if we get to
So
like
1296
100 or
plus
below,
or times
we'll
1.5
just scratch this and say it was a fail.
counts back around where it was before. We also have a buy at support here.
Clear zones, though. I mean, there's
We'll
no
need it
reason-
to
there's
we
nothing-
don't we'll need it to come
no
lower
reason
so we
why
can get a
should
better
win,
entry.
No reason why we should lose. It just is what it is. You just keep
Yeah,
doing
it's
the
taking
same
off
thing.
without us.
You'll run into winning streaks and losing streaks. I'm gonna leave this zone alone.
Yeah, you don't want to get an entry that's way too far away from the zone. Like, you know, you want to be able to get it to where it's reasonable. Like an entry down in here with the stop there. Like your target only has to go like something like that. So that's like an easier trade to do. If it takes off too quickly, just leave it alone.
Just letting it get to one of the
This zone
clear
wasn't really
zones, so it's
respected. Let's
support
start
zone doesn't
disregarding
really matter.
that.
So now we're starting to maybe form a resistance zone here. We have a test up here. We also have a test down
We're
there.
rejecting this high. There was
We
a
get
it's a
clear
clean
candle
resistance. It
correction,
tested it
we
looks
will
like
work
twice
out
before
straight.
having a nice fall off it. We've got another resistance zone further up,
Anyway, doesn't matter. So we got a trade here.
but this is still a decent
Price
resistance
in
zone to
this
trade
zone.
off of. Again,
Rejected.
don't overthink it. Like if it's at a
That will be the
resistance zone
entry
where
right
it's had a
there,
nice bounce
stop all the way
before,
down there,
it's
go all
come
the way
there a
up here.
second time, it's hit the
In this
zone, had
case,
like a
if the
nice
entry's
deep
kinda
test of the
like
zone,
high,
and it
it's
starts to
really
reject.
likely
Don't
we could
overthink
pin
it. Just
all
take
way
the trade.
down there,
It's cool.
and
You're
we
gonna
get a
win
stop
some. You're gonna
below
lose
that
some.
wick.
If you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, eventually you'll have your account compounded
in this
up.
case, what you could have done is
So just
after
take
it
all the
pinned away,
trades and
you
just
could
let
say,
it
hey,
play
I'm gonna
out.
wait for an entry at the zone. You could have set an alert at the zone to enter right there, or mark or a
See,
pending
plain
order.
and simply do the same thing
That
over.
probably
You win
still
some
wouldn't really
trades, you
trigger.
lose
Let's
some
just say you
trades.
set
It
a
is what it
pending order
is.
for a buy right here, and if we come down again,
So
we'll
what's this
enter.
now? So
there we
times
go. So we got an
1.5.
entry there,
What are we sitting at? Like
and then,
3K?
a TP of
2,900.
1.25.
Cool. Let's see what else the market gives us.
Oh wow, that's wow. Bit narrowly missed the target and then ended up stopping out. Wow, that's some bum. Anyway, I'm gonna call this a failure. So this is the so 2 in a row. That's interesting because the last one was too.
So this, it rejected the zone, but the entry wouldn't be good to be all the way down here.
Yeah.
We would need
Yeah,
something
we'll
like
just leave it
closer
at
to
that.
this zone up
I
here.
think
So
it's good when this happens.
let's go ahead and just
but it's not
disregard
very
this.
often this happens. Most of the accounts that I do win, but what you should expect is about half your account should blow, the other half of them should get to the targets. It doesn't matter. Like 1 week you'll be doing great, the next week you'll be doing the same exact thing, same trades, same everything, but it just doesn't work. Like,
So with this, we had a
it's
nice
like
bounce
the
here. We had a
game
nice
of
bounce
trading.
here.
It's like it's a game of
Now what
patience.
price
You
is
just
doing
keep
is it's
doing
hitting it
you just keep doing the
again.
same thing of
We've made a
avoiding
higher
cycle.
low. Now we're hitting it again.
Eventually you'll run into
It's
your
not
own
having
streaks,
that
you'll get
continuation
nicely
away.
compounded
It's like a
accounts, this
second
and that. You
time
just
and
have
the
to sit
third
through
time
the
now.
volume crap like
This looks like
so
it's going to be sweeping above the
$500,
zone.
you're left with like
I don't know that.
$100.
Obviously,
How
nobody
long
knows what'll
this as
happen.
well.
But it's already tried to drop a couple times.
April 21st to
See, this
May
is what I was
25th, so a
talking
little
about.
over a month.
So again, now we've got up here to our
Trading
resistance
on
zone we were
this
looking to
account,
take a trade at.
goes down,
And we did show compelling
whatever, less
bearish
400 bucks
rejection.
into the next. Also, as you already know, like
So
you're
that
not
would have
just
been the
gonna be
entry right
trading
there
on
after that
pair.
candle closed.
There's gonna be
A
multiple
stop
pairs
loss
that you
just
trade,
above the
so you're
zone.
looking at multiple opportunities. You're gonna have time to select
Profit
the
target
better
right there.
opportunities as well.
Now we need to keep in
Because
mind that the
obviously,
logic
like,
behind
you're
this is
trading
that
on pair and looking for
this
trades,
will
like,
have
it
to
doesn't
break this
work.
support zone
Like, it won't
in
be
order
that
for this
well.
trade
So
to work.
doing this live in real time.
So
whether
if you're in
on
a situation
demo
like this
account,
where
but,
like you
trading
play it
real-time
forward,
market data,
then it starts
or
to
just
reject the support
whether
zone
you're
and starts
just
to
trading on a
bounce.
straight live account, like,
What it will
it's
come
so
down
much easier
to
do because,
is your
I mean, here's the
subjective
thing, you
determination
have
on
all
which
of
zone
these
you
pairs
think
to
it's
look
more
at,
likely to
and then
respect.
that means
If
like
you think it's more likely to
on
respect
any
the
of these
support
pairs, you
zone,
just
then
scroll the
you
hell
know,
out,
cool. Don't take a
draw the
sell. Wait
clearest
for the
zone,
buy and take
and you
the
just
trade
wait for the
going up.
clearest,
If you think this
until it's
resistance zone will be a
retested.
major barrier to
And when
cause
those
a
zones get
reversal,
tested, you wait to
then
see
you
if
can
there's
still take the
interactions with
sell
those
even if
zones,
the target is
or
past the support
sometimes
zone.
they fail and
In
price
this
breaks
case,
below
I think
them,
that this
and
resistance
sometimes
zone
they
is
work
more
out.
important
Price
than
just
this
has a
little
response
support
from them.
resistance zone.
You never
I
know
could be
what price is
wrong,
gonna
and I
bounce out. You
oftentimes
never
am
know
wrong,
in
but
trading.
ultimately the trade still
It's
makes
just
logical sense to
constantly,
me,
like, fluid
unless of
and,
course we close above this
you
zone.
win some, you'll lose some, and overall you'll be profitable if you have a good system. So that being said, it's the end of the video.
So we have a
It's
break
good
and
that
a
we've got
closure below
another,
this zone.
losing account,
So
but
see, we
it's
did have
something
that
that's exceeded
initial little bounce
expectations
right
for the
there.
wall. Again, remember
But then it
the same
ultimately
thing,
made a
remember not
lower
to get
high,
wigged
kind of here
out,
near
don't
the resistance
overcomplicate
area,
it, don't
and then price
overthink
ended
it,
up
just do the same thing over and
breaking the
over again.
support. You'll
When
never
you're in
know
control
like
of
what will
losses,
happen.
Just expect to win about half the accounts and expect to lose about half the accounts.
So that was a
Right,
good
so
one.
when you
So
win,
2916
great, 10x
times
your money. When
1.5,
you lose minus 1x your money, right? So
4,300.
you
So we're
still even
almost
have a
halfway
little
there.
bit left over,
What's the
right?
target, like 1K?
$500 account now to 100. Yeah, you still got $100 in the account. Just internal transfer it to your main account, fund a new fresh account, come back on a new week, and just try it again. So that's it for this video. We'll see you in the next one.
Let's go ahead and not use this zone anymore. It's not looking like it was that clearly respected. Like here's support. It's getting kind of hard to determine what the actual zone is. Let's go ahead and just disregard that zone. Doesn't look like a very clear important zone. Cool if we got another huge spike into this zone. So that's pretty nice. A huge push into the zone, a huge fill with like a bearish wick. Let's put an entry there. We'll put a stop nice above the zone. TP of a 1 to 2.5, and we will monitor this in case we start closing up here into the zone. We can just exit. Indecision candle followed by a bearish candle. It's looking fine for now, so we'll see if it hits the TP. This looks like some sort of news event, but it came back to where the entry was at, and then it went to the profit target. So that's why it's important like to take a look at here whenever you're using like zones. Use the major zones. Use the zones where price has very consistently and very obviously had the big bounces in the past. Those ones are going to be so much easier for you because then you don't have to like sit there and worry like checking your phone like every like hour, like worried like is it going to break the zone, is it going to do this and that. Just if you're patient and you wait for the support resistance zones where it's just like so obvious, like every time prices got there in the past, it's just had a huge reaction off of it. You're not going to be worried in the first place. And then also like you putting a stop loss in, that stop loss is pretty much going to be there like in the case of an emergency. But you're gonna feel like almost every time like no, it's probably gonna bounce here. Your target's only 1 to 1.25. Like you're just looking for a little bounce at the zone. You want those zones that are super clear and have a lot of like a lot of volume where price gets there and has these huge moves off of them. Don't focus so much on just the little support resistance zones, price tapping this and that, try to predict the next like 2 candles. Like don't worry about that. Focus on the major huge zones where there's been big bounces in the past. Use those as the levels that you trade off of. Your win rate will probably be much higher if you do that. So this times 1.5, so we're at 6,500. So what, like 2 more trades and we'll hit the target. Let's first make sure our zones are ready. I'm going to adjust that zone to there. We'll see if we so we entered the zone and then we had this next little kind of an indecision candle. I'm still going to count this as a bullish rejection just because we came to the zone. I mean, we're here at the clear zone. It's either going to bounce or it's not. And we've paused here. So it's a little bit more evidence that price might be continuing up from here. So enter after that candle close. Stop loss would be reasonable right there, and then a 1.25 would be like right there. Let's see if it plays out. So it doesn't play out. Unfortunately, it was a loss, and there was no way to avoid getting out. There's no way to get out early, so it's a full 40% loss, which kind of sucks. So now we're back down to 4K, but it's fine. You know, we can also take a sell if price comes back up to the zone because we've had a clear enough like far break below it. I'm not going to be using that zone right there. That looks like it's a minefield that I don't want to walk across. See, would have smashed right through it. Starting to get a little bit of structure created in here. It's not really a major zone though. You see, that's why we don't want to use zones like this right here. We want to wait for the ones where there's been like major bounces at. So last time price came and tested this area as resistance, we did have this nice sell off here. We're now back at that area again, and we are failing at that zone. Let's see if we get another bear candle. So that would be good. That's convincing. You honestly probably could have entered up there after that rejection, but sometimes if you really want to make sure, keep in mind like the trading rules are such that the only 3 rules is price comes to a major support resistance zone. It can just be a straight support resistance or like a break and retest support resistance, but as price gets to the zone. Number 2 is price starts to show evidence that it's rejecting the zone. Now keep in mind, just like I teach in the course, there's no specific type of like doji candle or bullish like engulfing candle or something. It's none of that. All you're looking for is evidence that price is going to pause there at the zone. Something that is convincing to you that price will not be breaking below it at that moment and will be having a bounce off of it.
The FTMO challenge using
that's it. And the third thing is just enter the trade. So there's really only like 2 rules. And then of course that active trade management rule. If it breaks and closes above the zone, you can just get out.
Tans in here also passed twice. My client Vowan here also passed, and I could go on and on and on. But see, here's the problem most traders have. If you're trying to use technical analysis, trend lines, every time you draw one, you have to ask,
so
is this trend line truly
this one worked out pretty nicely. It looks like the zone was actually a little bit further up like that. So that's good. If we would have had a big bearish candle close like up into here, it would have been out on that trade at a small loss, but yeah, ended up working out good. So we'll do times 1.5. We're back to where? About 6K. So we're still fine.
Is price really about to reverse at this exact moment based on this lagging reading? And again, it never does it? Whereas you can actually trade without any of that stuff. No analysis, technical or fundamental, no indicators whatsoever, no guesses, no predictions.
I'm a little bit suspicious that this zone isn't going to work out, just because like we've already had these bounces right here. We had one nice bounce, okay, cool. Second bounce, came back up, tested as resistance, and bounced again. That was cool. A third bounce, but we didn't really make a lower low, and then we made like a double bottom, and now we're coming up. It might not be the best idea to take this trade here. We've been testing multiple times. You know, we haven't had a huge move away from the zone before pulling back. Yeah, it'd be best to not take it. And it would have worked out, so you know, that'll happen sometimes. It's all good. Just let it be. So the last time we were at this zone, we had a nice bounce. Price also formed itself as support again right here. So it came back and had a bullish rejection right there. That would probably be, this probably would have been a trade that would have been good to take. So it supported the zone with a bullish rejection, entry with a stop just under, targeted a 1 to 1.25, and then we'll let this one play out. It's this zone right here to me wasn't as clear. There's a lot of stuff going on right there. It's like in and out here, deeper in here, but then higher right there. It's not the clear zone. This one was a clear, nice bounce, had a big reaction off of it, came back again, and then rejected it. So it's either going to play out or it's not. It either bounces or it doesn't. There's no need to overthink anything. You just take the trades. Super Zen mode. So that one was another 50% winner times that. So we're at 8,800. So that means that if we win the next trade, we'll grow the account to 10K. If we lose the next trade, that'll be kind of annoying. We'll be set back, you know, a little bit depending on how much the loss is. But again, you just keep trading through it. Whatever happens, happens. You just let it go. So we had price push above this level and close above. Then we have a fast bearish candle coming down. So what this could turn into is a break and close above followed by this quick retest before a continuation up. What it also could turn into is a continued run back down to here. And what it could also turn into is it could like kind of get its footing here for a second, fail as support, pop downwards, and then right before it continues down, it'll maybe pop back up so we can get an entry to then pull back. I'm going to wait for this last scenario to happen. Cool, so we've popped back below. That's good. Now I'll wait for us to come back up here and test and then form resistance. It's not a deep test into the zone, but that is good enough for me. It's hit the zone, it's tested, it started to reject. What a good stop loss would be like right there. No overthinking, just, you know, it either bounces or it doesn't. So there it pushed further up and then rejected, so this is another good sign. Pushes up and kind of closes up here into the zone, not a good sign. Bearish candle closes down, good sign. Back and forth, so this may continue for a while. Again, there's no reason to even look at it unless it cracks the zone. So if you wanted, what you could do is you could just set an alert above the zone, and then if it pushes up to there and triggers your alert, then you would wait until the candle closes for that time frame. So if you're trading the 1 hour chart, you would wait till the 1 hour closes, and if it closed above, you'd get out of the trade early. Aside from that, there's no reason for you to even really look at the pair unless price breaks above the zone. So you could just honestly set that alert and then also set your take profit and stop loss into your terminal, and then it either plays out or it doesn't. So this looks like it could break higher. We also need to remember that price has also found resistance here multiple times in the past. We don't want to just get out too early when it doesn't make logical sense to do so. If it pushes up higher and closes above, it'll be time to get out of this trade. And then of course, if it just pushes straight to the stop loss, that would suck. But I mean, whatever happens, happens. So this pulls back down, tests the entry, has a little bit of a support bounce, did bounce at the resistance. Fails the support and makes a lower low right there. So I don't know. This is the moment of truth. We'll see if it works. Bearish candles. Now we'll need to get past these lows right here for this to work. We did get back and close below, but I'm not convinced yet. I'll need a bigger bearish candle. See, so now it might be faking out and coming back above, but ultimately there's nothing you can do except let it play out. This right here would probably be a good time to close. So a couple reasons. One, price, it failed to make new lows here, right? Your target, you thought it'd be easy. You thought it was going to be working out, but it didn't. It didn't make new lows. Another thing is that we've already tried to reject here's resistance multiple times. 1 and then 2 and then 3, and now we're here the 4th time. Another thing is we've closed up here into the zone with no bearish sensitivity. There's not even the tiniest wick on that candle. It's just a straight bull candle. So for that reason, I'm out. Like Shark Tank. This looks like it was just under half of the stop loss. Let's just say it was half of a stop out. So let's say instead of a 40% loss, it was like little under a 20% loss. We'll just do 20. So we'll do 20% loss would leave us with 80% of the account left. That means $7,000 would be left in the account. This, I wouldn't trade this as a buy at support because we didn't have a clear enough push past this zone. So here we go. So what we could do at this point, yeah, this was good. So we had a clear push down into this zone. What we could do at this point is just adjust the zone up here. It's resistance here, breaks above, finds support here, tries twice to go, doesn't make a higher high. Comes back, breaks below, pushes up and closes below with a big bearish candle going downwards. What we can then say right here is that, okay, this turned out to be a fake out. So the resistance zone is still working. It just needed, for whatever reason, maybe liquidity above the zone. So it spikes above the zone, takes out a few orders, gets more orders to be able to continue the move back down. You're only going to know that when it breaks back inside and then pushes up into the zone and then rejects it. Okay, so in this case, right there after that bearish candle closure, this would have been a great moment to enter. So it's a break and retest here, but you're using the logic behind like, okay, it's a major resistance zone. Price is tried over and over and over. It's clearly respected it over and over and over. So it's a nice, reliable zone to use. It's not like some crap like this in here. Like imagine trying to trade off of a zone like that. Like it makes no sense. This is a clear support resistance zone. So we'll trade off of this. So broke back below, came back up, tested, had a strong bearish rejection. And we'll extend it a little bit further up just to make sure we're not getting wicked out of any of the highs. So we need to hold below this support. Last time it failed and it bounced that support. We'll need it to crack below this. So this one ended up working out. So yeah, I think this would have been the one that got the account to the target. We'll find out right here. 10,500. Yeah, 10,600. Okay, cool. So that was it. A 1K account to 10,600. Let's make sure it was 30 days or less, shall we? Again, you're going to be trading multiple pairs whenever you're doing this, you're not just going to be trading one pair. So you'll have plenty of opportunities. Like I've had so many opportunities this week. So this is March 29th to April 26th. So yeah, technically 30 days or less. It was like what, 26 days? So or maybe it was like 27 or 28, or maybe it was about 30 days, but you get the point. Again, keep in mind, like, you're not going to have just one pair to trade. You're going to have so many opportunities. Like right now, as I was just showing you guys, like there have been so many opportunities this week. I'm also in this CAD JPY trade. So I'm in this trade on another account, and I'll show you it right now. Here we go. Bring it up. I've got all my accounts with CoinEx right here. So I'm in this CAD JPY trade. It's coming to the target. You know, we're kind of getting there. But wait, where's it at? Oh, here. Sorry, I gotta open the actual chart. Entries up here at the top. The target's down here. So we're like halfway through. If it hits the target, it'll be a $250 winner. So the account will be from like 500 to pretty much like 750. And you'll see how this account started off. I started off with the funding right here about a week ago. And then for this one, I've had one winner and then 2 losses. So the account's sitting at currently like pretty much break even, like a net profit of like $20. But I mean, come on. So it's like, if this one works out, it'll be at 250. If the next one works out, it'll be like 1200. The next one works out, it'll be like 1800. And then eventually it gets to like to 5K. So yeah, there's this one right here. There's GBP CAD, which looks like she's coming back to the target. Again, these are all on all my terminals. They're all on different accounts, but yeah. There's Euro CHF right here, which maybe I'll be able to enter if it can come back. Euro New Zealand dollar. I'm going to wait the 1 hour for Asian session interchange to happen first, and I'll do it. This right here, like I said, could have been a trade, but I was out walking. So, you know, it is what it is. And many, many, many more setups to come this week. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was a $1,000 account to $10,600. So that was good. So I will see you guys in the next backtesting video. I hope you're learning and making progress. Remember to stay calm, stay peaceful, let everything happen. Cheers.